Someday I'm gonna rewrite this little picture of us.
Yeah.
To like reflect who we are now.
Yeah,
Good morning. This is so a pre-pandemic picture.
it is.
Someday. And y'all will be thrown for a curve because you'll be like, but that's not the picture. So, let us know what you think. Hello and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
And there we go. Messy bun. We're gonna see how this works today. Marty. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber. In sunny, though, there was fog in the hills this morning, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's gonna rain.
I was about to ask her if it was gonna rain. So, and in response to a comment from someone who says they'll never watch us again. So they'll never see this. Why we wear masks? Some of you know this. Why we wear masks when we first come on camera is because that's what we've been doing up until we start filming, to protect as much of the shop as we can from even our own breath. It's not like we think our customers are dirty and infected with COVID. We don't know when we are. So we take this chance and this risk with each other. But other than that, these are on. These are on for like anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour that we've been here before we start filming. It's been on the shorter end lately because of me. To, the whole day afterwards. So, And if this is a reason to never watch us again, so be it. Moving on. How was your weekend, Liz?
I got my hair redone.
I'm like, can't remember it already.
No.
Your hair is very pretty. It's all like reds and maroons and grays and stuff, right?
Yeah. And
ta-da! It matches your underskirt.
It does.
And pinks. Okay. I was including the pinks in the reds. But it's a thing.
It's a thing. I didn't.
It's Liz's hair. She can describe it how she wants.
I thought about doing some knitting.
This is my project bag. I'm sorry about that.
In the hour I had after, before bed, after I finished my hair, and I was like, "Oh, am I kidding?" So I didn't.
I got only a little bit of knitting done last night after the newsletter in which we announced some pretty big changes. Well, one big change to our, maybe two, to our help schedules and such. And the video I filmed last week about these socks, I finally edited yesterday and got up about the heels on these. That's finally up. Excuse me. So I decided to see a little bit of knitting done. I've got somewhere between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of knitting over the heels.
Yeah.
So these might eventually get done. Good, now I've showed off one project. Yay!
It's not a thing.
I feel like there was something else I was gonna say in there about the weekend, maybe, but
it went way too fast, and I kept looking at my countdown app going, ooh, more minutes gone.
Liz is counting down till our break.
Yes.
When we hopefully will rest. And it's there's so many things we do. So no, I might come back to our changes for September with our help for people who are close enough, because shout out to Donna. I posted them on social media and Donna was like, if only. And she lives all the way in Alaska. So yes, they didn't apply to her necessarily because it's for people who can come into the shop, how we have to restructure some things. But I'm going to hang on to that. And I feel bad for people who are further away because I want to help everybody, but I can't do it on Zoom. It doesn't work with the hours we have right now. I used to attempt that when we were only open a couple days at the beginning of the pandemic. And now that we're open full time and we have all this happening ahead of time, and like, we can't. So what did you work on this weekend, Liz?
Well, besides my hair,
hair is important.
Didn't do anything, but on Friday.
Why is she looking at me like I know?
Friday, Astrid brought back my hat shawl.
Maybe I do know. I can't remember which day that was.
So I think it was Friday.
Might have been Friday.
Yeah. because it sat for a little bit.
Oh,
So-
because we talked about it at midnight, but you didn't have it there because you were leaving it at the shop, so
Yeah.
you could show it off today.
Yeah.
So what about Astrid? What, huh?
So Astrid brought back my Hap Shawl, which I showed off for everybody before it was blocked, and now it's blocked, and it is huge.
I'm ready.
I know.
I'm ready to take it. Oh. I'm noticing, I think I put the camera a little low today, but oh well.
So it's 6 feet across, and
I
you
can
can see through it.
I can see. I was like, what? Woo, I could do puppet theater right now.
It is
That's so cool.
absolutely huge. And keep holding that corner.
It's so cool and uniform and like pretty. And yeah, when she brought it in, the only place I could see holes, and I'm putting that in quotation marks, is where ends need to be woven in.
Yes.
Like not issues, just ends need to be woven in.
So when you fold it in half into a triangle,
It gets
it's
longer.
even huger.
Hypotenuse type deal, people. That's
This
math.
is-
You're gonna wrap up in it?
I'm gonna wrap up in it.
You have to go back.
I'm snagged. I'm snagged. There we go. My fingernail.
That was a moment of sheer
got
panic.
snagged 'cause
Sheer panic, people.
Astrid did say it was a snag. It would be a snaggy shawl, and I was like,
Yeah,
well,
well,
yeah.
My almost said Papillon, my Ranunculus that's made out of a single strand of this is going to be a snaggy sweater.
But it fits exactly, like it goes all the way down to my wrists.
This is maybe gonna bug me.
She's gonna move it a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
Ready?
Yep.
Mm,
There.
That makes me feel better.
Okay. So it goes all the way down to my wrists, which is exactly where I want it.
Now I don't feel
And-
like a giant.
How far down in the back does it hang?
It hangs to here. Like
So to my knees.
yeah, it's probably about no more than a foot above the ground. More like 8 inches above the ground.
I'm sure. So
I think it's a
But
little
it's
below her knees.
everything I ever wanted it to be.
I am
But it's
imagining it hits you like mid calf or upper
probably,
calf.
yeah.
You know,
Which is
like-
about where all my big ones,
Mhm.
I like them hitting. So anyway,
That's gorgeous.
winter's coming.
And she runs hot, so
This is gonna be super warm because
this is
silk
gonna be good.
cashmere and alpaca.
This is gonna be good when we have lunch outside when it's 20 degrees.
Yes. With another layer on top to hold all the heat in, because when it's 20 degrees, you need like 5.
The wind's gonna blow through it.
Yes. So I finished that. And then last week, well, we had time. I finished back up to where I was on my brioche
Now,
shawl,
why back up to where you were? What did you
because I had gotten up into like right in here, and I had to back out a row, and I think I backed it out wrong, and so like everything looked funky, and so
Funky.
I frogged it and rebuilt it. So
That's the Snowy Pines shawl.
yes,
Right?
by Blue
Testing my
Nose.
memory. Because oh now I'm thirsty and my water's not here, but that's okay. The struggle is real, people.
So real.
And
Here's
I
what the-
I have lumosity to like keep my brain sharp, but it all has like timed events or things speeding up, which makes my anxiety go into overdrive. So I'm testing my memory by trying to remember names of customers, and more importantly, no, not more importantly, but the one I can more likely remember, names of patterns. So
Yeah.
not more important than customers, but I'm not as good with the customers' names. I'll remember like the first letter and then verbal comes out of my mouth. Okay. So all right. Is that it?
That's it.
No, okay. Y'all know, I like Liz to talk about things first, because in case I get carried away and squirrel, which
Never happens.
always happens. Then I haven't like not given her a little space to talk about what she worked on the weekends. So, I figured since September is coming, in fact, it's coming in just a couple days, and the class on this our September crochet along is on Saturday. I should finish this guy, so I did. Except I'll hold it up with this side up first.
Do you
a
need
lot of ends to
assistance?
weave in. Well, let's see how big it is. Like, there's a couple things that happen with this. So, ooh, yeah, it's
It is
actually
nice
really, really big. Can we flip it around?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So the pretty side. And I'm gonna hold it a little towards you or a little towards me, but it's heading towards you, just so people can see. This is the super simple log cabin shawl by Addie Van Norrell. And you can see the log cabin effect is the kind of jiggy joggy in the center. And I used 7 colors of Cascade 220 Superwash and 7 whole balls. And I decided to do a rainbow. It's like her version has every single chunk of this is a different color. And this side and that side have mostly the same colors. I jig-jogged the green with the teal so there wouldn't be just a big V in the center. Once I got through the rainbow, so if you see it's a rainbow from red to purple here, and from purple to red over here. Once I got through the thick stripes, there wasn't enough yarn left on most of the balls to do whole stripes again. So the edge of this, I did, each thick stripe is made up of 2 colors. And I'm gonna grab it back. I've had some crocheters who said that throws off the jig jog at the bottom. I think you can still see the jig jog.
You can,
but it's not as crisp.
Yeah.
Right? But that's how I maximized my usage of yarn. I ran out of both yellow and orange. I've got just like not even enough to hold up of my red. And of these colors, of which the green and the teal weren't used as much in the main body, I just have little bits left. I would recommend, if someone wanted to minimize the number of colors used on this, and depends on how big you want it. Like, that was actually fairly big. And if we held it up, I can try to just hold it up, like from where the last stripe of true color, like that's still a whole wingspan of my arm length wide, which when you hold out your arms, is it like as
your arms are as
wide as you are
are
tall? I'm like 5'3", maybe. I used to pretend I was 5'5" with heels and things when I taught. I'm probably 5'3". So that's what, 63 inches across? That's a pretty decent size. That's 6 to 7 balls of yarn. I think an odd number is going to make this effect work better. Although I had issues with my 6 colors, if I was trying to put them in a rotating fashion with not having some overlap somewhere. 2 colors is not going to work with this effect because you're going to have color A, color B, color A. Or 2 B's or 2 A's like right against each other. But if you go with an A, B, C, A, B, C, A, like if you do a one where they're always going in the same order with at least 3 colors, this will work. And what I would recommend, say if you're having 3 colors, is maybe 2 DK skeins of each, you know, to get you a decent size shawl. So that is, if we say it's about 400 to 500 yards of 3 colors, we're talking about about 1,500 yards of yarn. If you get less yarn for this, you will have a smaller shawl. I'm
gonna do mine in fingering weight on probably an H.
Well, see, and
book.
What my fingering on an H, this was done on an H with a DK, and it's wonderful. Fingering is going to be nice and light and lacy. What my habit has been is to do one as a sample and then do one during the month out of something else. And so I have to decide, do I want to do fingering? Do I want to do, I mean, actually, my brain's almost going to the Hearthstone right now.
The Hearthstone,
like right?
Like I've done the Hearthstone on an eye and it fluffs beautifully. So
and since this is so bright, someone mentioned wanting to do one in neutrals. So that could be, I might,
really pretty.
Not to steal that idea, I might take that idea and modify it.
I'm using the leftovers of my crochet knit top the granny square one. And then I have like 4 more colors that I bought. So I'm gonna see how far.
I might just take one skein of each because I was like, maybe I could do Patagonia, but I'm doing another Patagonia shawl. I'll talk about in a second right here. So I was thinking about other DKs I could use, but a lot of them are ones I've already used for other things. So I was stumped. But the Hearthstone, I'm like, ooh. Hearthstone is a yarn from Plymouth that is fingering weight yardage, but they call it a sport weight because it's what's merino and alpaca. And so it's fluffy. It's thin but fluffy. So, ooh, I'm gonna ponder that. A lot of the things we're thinking about and doing and such, we won't be reporting to you on next week because we are taking a break next week. A long-awaited, deserved break because we are burning out, people, and trying to do all things for all people. We're burning out. So we won't be filming next week. I'm going to remind you every day this week that we won't have episodes next week. Liz likes to throw in there, we might do a pop-up, but I can't guarantee that, and I don't know when it will be. So if you're subscribed,
Don't plan on it.
Don't plan on it, but if you're subscribed, you could get a notification during the week that you're like, oh, yay! You know, we'll see. But know that it's not that we don't love you. It's that, oh my gosh, this is exhausting. I'll come back to that when I talk about the rates thing, because I was trying to list all the things we do to try to explain to people why our rates are changing. And whew, okay, so let me stick with crochet. I've got this gorgeous, and I want to try to do something that's more muted or more neutral. And in some ways, I want to see maybe how few colors I can use. So maybe I'll try to stick to only 3. We'll see. I might go twitchy with that. We'll see. This is the class, the in-person class on September 3rd. And then we go on break. And then the Saturday we get back is Fix Your Mistakes. There is, for knitters, there is still room in that class. I think that's a very enjoyable class and fun, and you learn things. So if you want to sign up for that, contact the shop. It's an in-person class.
It's my favorite class.
Because people get terrified.
Because Rebecca says, okay, now move all your stitches over to the middle and then drop one off the end. And everybody goes, no.
What?
And then they go, mine didn't drop. And Rebecca comes by and goes, no, you have to actually push it off the edge.
We had someone who was like, it's not working. And it's like, you're not letting your stitch go. The whole point is to let it unravel so you can pick it back up. Yes. And Liz is like, you have to go boop. That's your favorite noise. Boop, boop.
It is. It's my favorite.
We have you come with a swatch, and then we mess with it and we fix it. So
everybody learns stuff.
Everybody learns a little bit of the voodoo magic I do. And walks away saying, mind blown, I can fix my mistakes now. The issue is, once you take the class, it will stick in your head if you keep making mistakes and have to fix them. This isn't a class to miraculously stop you from making mistakes. It works the best if you fix them. Can you do me a favor? Can you pop? Oh, he's looking over, but then
is it the mail guy?
It's the mail guy, but he's going into the thing across the way. We had a package. I think he's got the package. We had a thing on the post window that we had a thing on our window from the post office that said we had to go pick up a package at the post office. And I'm really hoping that he brought it with him today. So I'm going to keep talking about my projects, and Liz will be back once she gets him. Like, I hate to take her away from filming, but I think it's our new pom-poms. So I really, really, really want to get them. This is the class that I have. I'm trying to show it, so I'm not as fun when Liz isn't here. This is the class I've picked for the last Saturday in September. It's September 24th. It's called the Squill Shawl. And I don't know if you can see, maybe you can see best up against me. The Squill Shawl is using DK weight yarn, so thicker than itty bitty bitty yarn, to do a filet crochet technique. And filet crochet is the idea that you have open and closed boxes and that creates a design. So you do chains and stitches, or you like chains and double crochets to make an open box, or you do lots of double crochets to fill in the box. Do we know if that's the one, Liz?
I don't know. It says pantry.
That may not be the one. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
I know what it is.
I know what that is too.
And we have a dear Becky and Lizzie.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So I was just talking about the Squill Shawl, Liz, which is filet crochet. You've done some filet crochet.
I have started the thistle filet crochet shawl like 5 times, and
is
still
it
not done.
is it the thistle one?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm listening to my own message over there and how we have to change that before break, and I'm getting super distracted. But now I was talking about the whole open and close boxes.
Yeah,
thing.
it's just building boxes.
Building boxes. So this one kind of has like a very geometric kind of flower shape to it, is how I like to think about that. And I will check that message later. But that's all I was able to talk about. Well,
yours is built bottom up, and mine is built like it's built spine sides, and right? You go over to the side, and then you go back up the spine, and you go over.
So other things I worked on, other things that are fun. Let's see. This guy I worked on one of the knit nights. So I finally, it's my second pair of socks using this self-patterning yarn. And it's so I have a pair of socks to wear at home because I already have a pair of socks for the shop. It is loosely based on the Rose City Rollers pattern, but I didn't do a roll top. I did an actual rib top. So I'm super excited. Again, there's so many possible things to work on over break.
There are.
And this might be one, getting some socks done for myself. I don't know. There's like, I'm trying not to set expectations because then I won't be upset if I don't do them.
I changed my mind on mine. Like I had my sweater all planned out, and then changed my mind because those 5 boxes of yarn we got in.
She's talking about not boxes, like some of the yarn came in their own individual boxes, but these were these massive big boxes of yarn. We're getting all these new yarns in, and I don't know how many I can get up online before we go on break, so they might not be available online until after break. But they were yummy yarns, and some of them I feel like we could talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I'm prefacing this with, we might talk about them, but they may not be available online. I will try to get them online before break, but y'all might just have to wait, and I'm sorry.
Okay, so, and we've discussed that before. Yeah. Putting stuff up online requires that you take pictures of every color. You color adjust all the pictures to make sure they look like the yarn. Then you post those up.
And then before I post them up,
yeah,
I have to label them. I have to put them in Instagram stories and put labels on the colors so that when they go up on the online shop, they have labels so you know which color is which. And then I post them, and then I tag them to match up with the color numbers in our matrices, and then I have to put a description on the whole thing. And so it makes sense what you're looking at, and you know what you're buying, and like it's work. And we have 3 new yarns from Juniper Moon that have come in that are not on the shelves yet, and we have 4 yarns from Barocco coming in this week that may not make it up on the shelves before break. And for anyone out there who's like, but the shop will be closed next week, you can get it done next week. The whole point of next week is to not do work for the shop, which makes my skin crawl because I'm used to doing work for the shop every single day.
And generally on Christmas break, the past couple of years, I've come in on break and packed up packages, and no, because we're trying,
we're trying to get, and we've had, shout out to Carol, we've had Carol offer to come in and fill packages while we're gone, but that still means one of us coming in to let her in and stuff. And it's a gracious offer, but it's one of those, we need to not be here. Like there's a chance I'm gonna have to run in for whatever reason for my own projects, right? Because I've left stuff here because organization for myself at home. What?
We're gonna try and make sure that
we're gonna you good luck with that. Anyway,
Well,
So
we do have one yarn up out of the 3. It's right behind you.
we're gonna talk about tomorrow.
Okay. Because Saturday
it's when she says up, she means literally hanging on the rack. She does not mean in the online shop.
No.
So because that's me. This is her, and it's gotten done. The online shop is me, and it hasn't gotten done. So okay. I have a couple more things to show off. And that because I have hopes and dreams, trying not to put expectations on myself, but I have hopes and dreams of not necessarily before break, but maybe on break. Even though I want to start 2 new sweaters, maybe I could get some of my warm weather sweaters done. And I made some progress on this one this weekend. I almost went like, I don't see how this is gonna work because okay, so this is my Faye Summer top. And the back has all, I know it's such a light color. It's probably hard to see. The back is what I did first, and it has all this ribbing and lace and cables and baubles and oh my gosh. And then I started the front, and the front had like a shoulder. And then I already got to the point last night where there's a little bit of baubles on the front, and then they're like, put it on a holder and go to the other side. And I was thinking, my brain went, this isn't enough to like put it on and be able to join it in the round and not have it like chafing my armpits. But I think what's going to happen, again, I could read ahead in the pattern, but what fun is that? So this side is now on, like I have the front and the back on the same barber cord. I'm doing the front over here. I think it's when this side gets down to where the other side of the front is, I think it'll be joined just in the front for the neck. And then it'll go down further, and then everything will get joined in the round. But this one's such a fun adventure. I'm hoping to work on this on break. I don't even know, like, if I can kind of drape that so y'all can see what's going on. Like, here's the other front, and there's the back. Ta-da! Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. It's gonna be so pretty. I'm looking down at all my stuff, and there's an inordinate amount of pink in what I'm making. And let me tell you that, you know, no offense to people who like pink, because it's growing on me, but it is not a color that I normally would have picked to work with. It's definitely growing.
You're picking it more and more. Like,
I am. What's up with that? I mean, it's also a popular color.
We all go through color changes.
Uh-oh. Went the wrong way with the yarn. Okay, this is the one I really want to try on. I could show you my ranunculus, but it's only a few, maybe another inch further from where it was on my last sleeve. Like, it's getting really close. I will show it all soon. Maybe I can get it done before break, maybe by Thursday. This is the one I wanted to show to y'all, and I had out a barber cord to put it on. What happened? What happened? Oh, there it is. I'm not totally putting it out. What?
No.
She knows this is life. Okay. My Luminous Summer top. This is what we'll probably end with, apart from talking about our new policies. My Luminous Summer top is at the length she says to potentially go on to the bottom with. Like, this is roughly 7 inches. I'm probably going to measure it now, and it's not going to be 7 inches, but I could have sworn over the weekend at my house, this was 7 inches from the sleeve separation, and the sleeve separation is low, right? Yeah, this is roughly 7 inches from sleeve separation. She's like, go to 7 inches or 1.5 inches before above the length you want it to be. So I want to test with y'all. I haven't tried this on yet to know, but I'm putting it on. This is a short barber cord because my long one is in the other one. So I'm not taking all the stitches off, but I am hopefully, and if some of this falls off because I'm keeping it on the needle and the barber cord, it's a very straightforward knit at this point. So if I lose some stitches, I can fix them.
You can stick the other end of the barber cord on the needle.
And on the other needle?
Yeah.
Liz is so smart. I'll try. And then I have to not pull hard enough to like pull it off, you know, like either one. Okay, so other end on my other needle. So smart. I'm gonna take a few more stitches. It's probably expanding it more than it needs to, but okay. So this is the back. This is to show off my Barocco Vivo, and this is all I have of my second skein, which means that like her yardage of you only need so much, which should be 2 skeins of this. If I was going to follow her instructions, might be right, because like another 1.5 inches of the bottom and then just capping the sleeves might work with this. But I think I'm going to need a 3rd skein so that I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, because this is not long enough yet.
I 7 inches is like finished for me.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that this sleeve separation would be lower than it appears right now. Like this is where the sleeve separation, see the short rows for the back. This line here is sleeve separation, which is usually across my girls and it's below my girls, but or it's roughly near my sleeve separation. But I think I want this to be more of tunic. Not tunic, but like at least the length of my t-shirt would be nice, right? Something close to that.
And you normally do a good 9 to 11 inches.
Yes. And again, I was hoping that the sleeve separation was so long, because look at, like, if I do her ending to the sleeves, it's gonna be right where my t-shirt sleeves are anyway. I love this yarn, I have to say. This is really fun to make. But I'm definitely gonna need a 3rd skein so that I can add, I'm probably gonna do another 3 to 4 inches before I do the bottom. Yeah. But y'all get to see this. This is the first time I tried it on at the length that she wants it, or that she's suggesting. And if I was a smaller person, then this length might be super cute. I want to say no matter what size, and I'm doing like middle size probably, no matter what size you make, she said to just go to 7 inches. She has just one length. And that doesn't work for everybody. And that is the glory of knitting, is that you can choose. Like, it's going to have a wide neck, and that's okay. But you can choose to modify it. I'm looking at, there are these little eyelets up at the top. You can't even see them on the camera because of the texture of this yarn, but that's okay. It's okay if there's subtle hints. That's one of the reasons I didn't pick a sweater with more complication to it, a top with more complication to it for this yarn, because it's mildly textured. It's Barocco Vivo, as I mentioned. And anything with a top with more detail to it, it might work, but it might get lost. So this is super fun. I would get one more skein than you think you might need, just to be on the safe side if you want more length, if it's close to the right amount, because I know I'm picking up a 3rd skein today. So but this guy, I didn't start this that long ago.
No, it's a pretty quick knit.
All things considered, with how many projects I have going, this one is coming along really quickly. It's one of the ones I can actually work on during knit night, during virtual knit night. So, you know, I will probably tonight be working on Ranunculus or this or socks, because it is easy and fast.
I'm not sure what I'm going to work on tonight. So many options.
Come to virtual sit and stitch and find out. We do have virtual sit and stitch tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. You get into Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
And if not tonight, also Friday night, because those things, virtual sit and stitch, will also be taking a break next week. I believe it's September 6th and 9th. We will not be having virtual sit and stitch. If you try to attend, no one is there to let you in. But today, Tuesday, which is the 30th of August, and Friday, which is the 2nd of September, we will be having it. And then we will resume again on the 13th of September. So come when you can.
Leave when you have to.
Yes. Except for the times when we're not there. So, you know, like our social media posts about virtual sit and stitch are like, we will be having it every Tuesday and Friday unless we tell you otherwise. And right now we're telling you otherwise for next week. So I keep promising to get to the new policies about help in the shop, and here's the deal. So, for well-intentioned reasons, we have a lot of people dropping by and saying, "Ooh, could you take a quick look at this? Could you fix this? Could you?" And up until now, we've even had pushback if we even try to charge minimal amounts for that, because it's like, but I just dropped by, and it's like, but when enough people,
we've had pushbacks if it's like, hey, our help time is this time, but I'm in town now, or I'm going to be in town on a different day, or
I'm visiting and I'm only in town on these days, and I get that, but everybody kind of treats that like they're the only person who asks for that favor, and when there could be up to 10 or more people a day trying that. That's not always the case, but sometimes. And we're trying to sell yarn on top of that. And we have all the tasks of just maintaining the shop. Like, we joke, but it's true, of like fulfilling orders and shipping orders and entering the paperwork and putting away the yarn and answering emails and phone calls, and the list goes on. And shout out to Carol. And sometimes we have a few other people around, but it's usually Carol, and we love her for this. Like, she makes trips to the post office for us. She manages the phone for us. She helps out inside when we have tasks for her to do. There's only so much she can help us with, though, legally, because I'm a stickler for, like, no, I don't want a volunteer task force running everything, because A, it's not safe, again, from a legal point of view, and B, then Liz and I don't know where anything is. Best intentions, we don't know where anything is. So the more people we try to help who just walk in off the street, the harder it is to keep this place smoothly running and functional and open. So here's the tweaks that we've made. First of all, we were doing drop-in help like every other Thursday, or Thursdays where we didn't have intro lessons, and that was hard to keep track of. So the first one's more of a logistical thing. Every Friday right now is drop-in help day, and we have 2 times to come to drop-in help day. We have 10 to 12 in the morning, and we have 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And drop-in help means we are expecting people will come by without an appointment, and the charge will be $20 for assistance. And you may have to share me with multiple people. Liz may or may not be involved in that, because we have so many other things going on at the shop and customers to help. But you don't need an appointment, and it's $20. The rest of our class schedules, the advanced classes are on Saturdays. The intro classes are Tuesday, Thursday joint session. According to the schedule, we'll have 1 intro knit and 1 intro crochet a month. And then walk up, as opposed to drop-in help, is unscheduled, but there's a specific time for it. Friday, 10 to 12, 2 to 4. All the even numbers, right? Walk up help without an appointment, without notice of, hey, I'm here and this will only take a minute, or hey, I'm here and I promise I'll buy yarn next time, or hey, I'm here and I've bought yarn from you in the past. So that all has a flat fee, or a starting fee of $35 now. Starting fee. If it's much more complicated, we'll give you warning, but it could go up from there. And that's not to be like, haha, let's make money off people. That is to encourage you to come to the more affordable times, which is Friday, $20, don't need an appointment, or make an appointment with me. That's $25 for a one-on-one time. The walk up help, expecting assistance just because I'm in town, it's going to be $35 or more. And again, that's not to fleece anyone. It's not to have outrageous rates. I mean, even that rate is something that some people would tell us we're not charging enough. It doesn't matter how short or how long it's going to take. It could be, but this is only going to take a couple seconds. I find that's usually not the case. I love that you think I can do it in very little time, but I want it done right. And I want to help you to the fullest of my abilities. And that means taking a little time. And that's time that then we can't be doing other things.
Well, and like, we've had people drop in for or want help while you're teaching a class. Well, Liz, you can do it. Well, the shop is full of people, and I can't multitask on that. And you have people that are scheduled for a class. And it's like, hey, we love you guys, but it has gotten to the point where it's more than just a couple people at a time. It is a lot.
And I think it's one of the challenges of, we are both a retail shop and in some ways an academic institution. It's what I put in the email that went out this week of, there's the help we offer people to keep them going on their projects, and we're selling yarn, and we're trying to do both almost simultaneously with only 2 of us. And so we need it more structured for your sake as well as for ours. We need this a little more structured. And that means that we are going to try to funnel you towards times when we're expecting you, and we can offer you our A game, what I like to call the A game, rather than the hurried, scattered, well, I'll try, but we also have 5 other people in the shop, and they're expecting our A game as well. So, and it's all well and good to say either, oh, I understand, I just, but you walk away with an experience that is not the optimal one we want you to have. So if it really can't wait till Friday, or if you really can't make an appointment, it will be $35. And we will do our best to make the space. And I always give you the best quality I can, but we really would like you to come to Friday or make an appointment. So that is the lowdown on that. I don't know if we covered everything, but I'm sure, especially if questions arise, we will address them as they come up. And I said in the newsletter and the social media posts, we're going to go through some growing pains on this. There's going to be some people who are miffed by this. There's going to be some people who are working off of assumptions of how they think yarn shops should function. Like, but I buy yarn here, so you should help me for free. Or I've been a good customer, so you should be, telling me what to make out of this yarn I bought somewhere else. And that's, I would like to say that's not how yarn shops function anymore. It's not how our shop functions. And we've managed to keep in business for 5 years when a lot of shops have not been able to keep functioning. And we need to optimize where we spend our time and how we spend it, so we can be the best service to you that we can provide. So again, it's not that we don't love y'all. It's that we really need to proportion our time so the shop can keep running smoothly. Because I also hear I try to think too, what will the arguments be? And one of them is, so you just need to hire more people. It's just because when I say it's just Liz and I, so you just need to hire more people, right? And sometimes the people who will say that are the same people who think, I've bought a lot of yarn here, I'm entitled to help. And the yarn at today's prices, with the markup that people are expecting, and that's reasonable to keep things affordable for you, doesn't cover the cost of an extra employee. Maybe rates for help would, we'll see, but we can't rely on only yarn sales to have a shop where we can hire more employees. So we're doing the best we can to structure things to allow you to still be able to afford coming in for help, because we want to help, and allow us to keep the shop running smoothly and not burn out.
We want to go as long as we can. And what's the average burnout for a yarn shop?
Maybe 7 years, 7 to 8 years. And we're on year 5. So we're doing our best for longevity, because we don't want to shut the shop down in 2 years. No. And I feel like, okay, I just lost my train of thought again. I hate that. This is why we need structured times for things. But yeah, if it comes back to me, I got distracted. I promise I'm really good at what I do, but I get distracted when talking about other things. But it really is that we love y'all and we want to keep this going well. And that's part of it. That's definitely part of it, is paying for our time and our expertise. And that time and expertise is better when it's structured. Fridays, make an appointment. So, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them, put them in the comments, that kind of thing. So, you know, we love you all very much. And is that your phone?
It is.
I'm like, we don't have a doorbell. On that note, come to Virtual Sit and Stitch tonight. We'll heads up that tomorrow it's the VSC. I think I was probably just going to say something like, now I'm off my soapbox and I don't like being all so serious all the time, and or like for long chunks of time, but it had to be said. So tomorrow's the VSC, the virtual shopping channel, where usually we advertise things for a week until the next time we film, but we're not filming next week. So we may talk about new yarns. They may or may not be online. It will be a special different one. I would tune in because it's the last day of the month, you know, and we could be talking about fun stuff that only relates to tomorrow. We could be maybe giving a heads up to what's going to happen while we're on break. Someone really wants to get your no, it's the repeat of them. Anyway.
No, it's
so
my mom.
I would tune in next week.
Tomorrow.
I'm so excited about next week. I would tune in tomorrow to the VSC. Because we may or may not talk about yarns on Thursday. It depends on how much we get through on Wednesday. We have a lot of stuff coming in. So if you have a question for Dear Becky and Lizzie on Thursday, we're going to pick up with a yarn and notion storage. That was a question that we didn't totally get to last week. But if you have other questions, we will either address them or save them till after break. We have a card that might be, it's not addressed to Dear Becky and Lizzie, but it could very well be a Dear Becky and Lizzie. We're going to find out since my name's on it. I'm going to open it once we're done filming. Were you thinking about it?
Oh, I was going to open it.
Because my name's
fine.
Anyway, and yeah, we're gonna try to make this week as fun as we can be, because you won't see us next week on the same way, you know. I should stop now. Okay, bye.
What?
We gotta open the shop. Bye.